Using Statdisk for inferences about two proportions. This video first uses the example titled, "Is there a difference between success rates of e-cigarettes and nicotine replacement for smokers who try to stop smoking?" And then the example titled, "Confidence interval for a claim about two treatment groups." In both examples, we are using a 0.05 significance level to test the claim of no difference between two treatment groups. When using Statdisk for inferences about two population proportions, you must know the sample size n and the number of successes x for the samples from each of the two populations. For either sample size, if you don't know the number of successes, but you know the value of the sample size and the sample proportion, you can calculate the number of successes by multiplying the sample size by the sample proportion, then round the result to the nearest whole number. First, click Analysis in the top menu bar, then select Hypothesis Testing from the drop-down menu. Select Proportion to Samples from the submenu. The selected menu item is highlighted in blue. The Hypothesis Test Proportion to Samples input screen now appears in Statdisk. The blue outline indicates the input item that is currently selected. Click on any input item to select it or press the Tab key to move to the next input item. Under Alternative Hypothesis, select the type of test, two-tailed, right-tailed, or left-tailed. Select the option that uses the same symbol as the alternative hypothesis. Select the first option, Proportion 1 not equal Proportion 2 for a two-tailed test. Select the second option, Proportion 1 greater than Proportion 2 for a right-tailed test. Select the third option, Proportion 1 less than Proportion 2 for a left-tailed test. In this example, we select the first option, Population Proportion 1 not equal Population Proportion 2 for a two-tailed test. Next, enter the desired significance level. In this example, use the default value 0.05, which is commonly used. Proceed to enter the sample size and number of successes for each sample. For sample 1, we enter 438 for sample size and 79 for number of successes. For sample 2, we enter 446 for sample size and 44 for number of successes. Click the Evaluate button and the results will be displayed in Statdisk. The results include the test statistic z and p-value. In this example, the test statistic z equals 3.51 rounded and the p-value equals 0.00045. Because the p-value is less than the significance level of 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis that the proportion of success in treatment group 1 is the same as the proportion of success in treatment group 2. It appears that there is a statistically significant difference between success rates in the two treatment groups. The results also include the confidence interval. In this example, the 95% confidence interval has a lower limit of 0.0363 and an upper limit of 0.12712. The confidence interval limits do not contain zero, indicating that there is a significant difference between the two treatment groups. This is the same conclusion reached earlier using the p-value results. These numerical results can be downloaded or copied to your clipboard using the buttons above the results box. Click the Plot tab above the results box to view a graph of the critical value and test statistic. An image of this graph can be downloaded to your computer by clicking on the camera icon in the upper right corner of the graph.